Hi, Zizaran here with another video on the current league or disaster, and I just wanted to specifically go through every problem I have with the league. I saw some insane comments on Reddit saying that people said, well, Zizaran is a shill and he likes the league. I think they've massively misunderstood, well, everything. I'd say this is the single worst league they've ever done so far. Worst league start. I mean, I'm sure there's a way of saving it, but I rated the league a 3 out of 10. That being said, I think it's almost impossible not to have fun at the start of a PoE wipe the first 3 days. I don't know, it's the same as a charcoal wipe. Everything is new and exciting, even though I'm getting skull left, right, and center. I also like difficult games, to be fair. Anyway, this video is going to be not focused on the league mechanic. That's a disaster of its own. First, let's talk about general mapping. A big problem for a lot of people right now is they are not getting back in what they're investing. They are alching chisling maps and stuff like that. And I would say before, if you're alching a map, you wouldn't always get an alchemy back. But, you'd probably get an alchemy or a regret. So you could buy an alchemy or a binding, or at the very least, something else worth that you could buy other stuff for. That is a lot worse than before. I've been running a large amount of maps blue, so this was definitely harder to notice for me because you kind of early hardcore, yeah, you just run very easy maps. Even now that I'm alching every map, the return on investment is very, very rough, and that is for a person that knows exactly what they're doing. I have the shrine nodes, I have expedition, and actually expedition is the only reason I'm able to keep going because Tui pounds our currency. But, I mean, a lot of players feel like they're forced to either do Expedition or Heist, or they are going to be broken poor. And compared to any other league start, even on SSF, I'm incredibly poor compared to normal. A big thing that makes everything a lot worse is everything is just overrun by Archnemesis monsters. And Archnemesis monsters, on their own, I really like. I think that's probably the only silver lining on this patch. But it is literally ruined by the fact that they feel the need to put it on every single thing, like essences, bestiary. Now, they have addressed that in the post, and that was probably the only good thing that they addressed. That was yeah, we're going to tune that down, and hopefully they nailed that. But it is just so stifling right now to have Archnemesis on everything that is already special. The Archnemesis rewards should probably be expanded on a little bit, bring in a few more. But there are a few that I'm noticing I'm already excited for while I'm killing, like the empowering elements and getting 10 to 20 fractured items. The economy is very strange. There's so few good uniques dropping. Impulsa, there is only one of on hardcore. It is up for 25 divines. There should probably be some rebalancing on drops in general. They did mention bosses are going to drop more uniques now. Maybe that'll help fix that, but it's a very strange economy right now. The divine change. Here's my problem. This is a combination of my idea and a guy in chat that said, wouldn't it have been better if they introduced a new currency for meta mods? Like a crafting currency. I don't know. Because I've been exalting things a lot this league. I've used 7 exalts so far. I've made 2 suffixes with tier 1 cast speed. And I've exalted 3 jewels and 1 item. So that's been pretty good. I've been okay with that. Divining rares is important, I think. I think rares should be more divinable. So either bring divining rares back to harvest and make it okayly priced. I'm not really happy with how it all ended up. It was maybe a good... I think a lot of the things we're seeing right now for me is great ideas, awful implementation. And the Scourge currency, I don't understand why they felt the need to nerf it at all. They are so rare. I've had 1 fusing and 3 chromes, and I've done quite a decent amount of beyond. So I am, and I've seen videos of people spamming the jewelers and fusings, and it's insane. It is so nerfed. Why was there a need to nerf it at all when it's so rare? So they did a huge, and this is probably one of the worst changes in the league. They did a huge nerf on loot, and they didn't communicate this. Now, they don't communicate about drop rates ever. But with something this important, maybe it was time to change that. Maybe it's time to reconsider, because this was rough. Very stifling. It's an insane reduction in drop rates. I'm just sitting here thinking, is there even a need for hard mode? I thought the entire point of hard mode was to be a lot more similar to this, obviously even harder than this, but I thought the entire point of hard mode was going to be to let people have a lot easier mode. Like, I thought normal mode last league was in a really good spot. Last league was literally the best league we've ever had. I think that's why I find some of the comments saying like, oh, GGD are making it worse and worse every patch, because I would have said the last 3 leagues have been really good. Like Archnemesis was amazing as a league. It should never have been made core at all. Sentinel is amazing. I mean, I know a lot of softcore players like Scourge, but Scourge was kind of awful for hardcore. It was probably my favorite league implementation ever, with like clicking V and boom, you're in the Scourge world. That was awesome. But the loot, like all the loot, was awful for hardcore because we couldn't farm 300 Scourge stacks and the crangling was a joke. But like, yeah, most fun league mechanic we've ever had. Just no loot. And yeah, both Archnemesis and Sentinel, like back to back, absolute god tier leagues. So I do think it's really weird when people are like, did they keep making it worse and worse every league? If we had leagues like Heist and Blight and Ritual, I would agree, because they were all dog shit. Now, some people are getting really upset I said Ritual. Ritual is one of the most enjoyable leagues to play. I just really fucking hate the league mechanic of being trapped in 4 circles and looking for one monster for 13 minutes. But it was like similar to Metamorph, one of the best leagues we've ever had, even though I hate both of the league mechanics. So that's an important distinction, right? Good league mechanic. Harvest Life Force, just insanity. I love the change of not having to craft when we find it, but it needs to be 5 to 10 times more life force. And the fact that we lost key prefixes, keep suffixes, needs to be fixed by Eldritch currency dropping at a way more regular rate. Probably 3 to 4 times when it does now. Because if we have the Eldritch Chaos, so you can do that thing anyway, then it's pretty doable. But they shouldn't be so insane that I'll never find one. Minion builds are apparently awful. I haven't tried it, but apparently minion builds are really struggling on summoning, on things like Animate Guardians are dying and stuff like that. So this was one of the biggest things I was worried about. And spell suppression is still mandatory, pretty much like before, but now it is almost impossible to get for the left side of the tree. It's even really hard for Elementalist. I have been spamming white and yellow maps for essences, trying so hard to get spell suppression, and it's been hell. I finally have spell suppression now, but getting tanky in this game right now is awfully hard. So it's a struggle. I'm sitting here thinking like, is there something I can reroll to that would be better? And I'm like, not really. Not if I want damage and tank. It's very difficult to play hardcore right now. And I can't even imagine people playing a weak league starter right now. Good luck to you. The rewarding Archnemesis monsters are also a bit too rare. Like our Kali Touch, Solaris Touch, those things are a little bit too rare, or when you get them, they should be more rewarding. They are very fun though. And a few more monsters like that would be really cool. Maybe make some of the lighter ones drop something. I do want to point out some positive things too. Like I really do love the Archnemesis changes in a vacuum. They just need to not make them skull fuck us on everything. Like there's so many fractured items, scarabs, and the currency things that are dropping. They're just a bit too rare. But yeah, great direction on that. Just needs to not be on everything. The quality of light changes on trading is insane. The direct whisper, the whisper highlighting, influence boss tracking, the map device. These are really good. Honestly, really awful league. I don't know. Honestly, I'm very frustrated and sad, because I feel like I've been very critical of this league, and to be called a shill, it literally hurts me, because I feel like I just always, every league, say exactly what I mean, and like comments like that literally kill me. Like, I don't understand why you have to be visibly angry for your comment to be valid. That's crazy to me. But I mean, if I wasn't enjoying the game, I wouldn't play it. I can't imagine being one of these people that hate the game every league and are still playing it. I'd go play Tarkov. So I don't know. That honestly breaks my heart. I literally cannot imagine how anyone could call me a shill this league. Literally blows my mind. I'm so confused. Anyway, rant over. Thanks for watching. Sub if you liked the video. But more importantly, try to die less than this current patch does.